Good evening and welcome to this week's setup stream with SwiftSole V3. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. And this week we've got a couple of things that's actually quite interesting, a couple of things that people are liking. However, it is a bit of a brick week. How did you do last week? It was Supreme's TNF and also the Gundam figure. I've actually got one on the way thanks to someone in the old boys range. Thank you so much, sir, for getting me that. As you can see, I've got my box logo on from the week previous. I thought I'd wear it today to be nice and cozy inside of where I am. Now, last week, we also saw Supreme yet again add another step to the checkout process. So instead of drawing the circle like what we got the week before on the box logos, this time it was hold the circle and go. And as you know, SwiftSole's new version, was it new version? No. SwiftSole's new feature or new mode helped a lot of users to hit. Now, we're starting to see that the EU is getting a pretty bad, I guess, end of the stick when it comes to the anti-bot measures on Supreme currently. And actually, you know, US is generally flying through, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. As we say, we always recommend going manual at the same time because that's going to give you the best chance of actually hitting. Now, for today, the actual app, you would have noticed, hasn't updated yet in regards to its item list. So I'm going to be doing it off a website to begin with in regards to the items that are dropping, the ones that I believe will have some resale, and also the ones that I think you should sleep on. And then we'll go back to the app on how to make the actual tasks. So again, to begin with, we will use the website in order to look at the retails and resale analysis, and then we will go back to the app in order to set up. Anyway, let's get that going and then we can go straight into it. And here we are, a nice seamless transition there. I hope everyone's well. Remember, if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat box. This week's not going to be that I guess, busy inside of the stream because that's just the way it is. How are you doing, All Talk? I see you every single week, sir. I see a load of you guys every single week. Anyway, so we start with the item that I wanted to get and I'm still debating whether I should go for it, because I didn't realize it was a 1000% bear brick. So, or Q brick, sorry, two different things really, but a Q brick similar to a bear brick, but it's not a bear. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is the Crow. Now, I think that Supreme kind of missed a trick with this. They should really, in my eyes, basically release this at Halloween, but is what it is. It's a Q brick. It's not just a Halloween item. It's just the way it is. How's it going, Aldwin? So the actual retail on this is £798 or $898. Now, in regards to these sort of items like bear bricks, like Q bricks, that's a normal retail. It's not actually that much further or higher than what you would get a bear brick for, which is usually around the 600, 700 mark. Will it have resale? This is where I just don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't remember whether Supreme has ever done a Q brick release. I don't think they have done a collaboration before. However, if that's too rich for your blood, then you can always go for the 100%. So it's literally like 10 times smaller at £32. And I'm thinking that little thing would sit pretty well next to my cause figures there. Sorry, I've got something in my eye that I can't get out. Anyway, it would sit pretty nicely there. So I think I'm definitely going to go for the 100% one. However, for the 1000% as a personal, I just don't know. I don't know where I'd put it, in all honesty. I shouldn't go for it, but I'm going to probably convince myself. Will it have resale? That's the biggest question. In all honesty, unless you've got some buyers lined up that you know have collectibles and collect this type of thing, I really wouldn't just go all out with this and try and get 10 of them or anything like that. I've kind of looked around the forums, around the groups. People think it's cool, but at the same time, a lot of people are saying the same thing. They don't know whether or not they'd be willing to part with nearly £1,000 or nearly $1,000 for a piece like this. So it is a risk. So I definitely go for the 100% one. I think that one's a pretty easy hit. Not an easy hit to get, but I mean a pretty easy resale. If we look at Gundam from last week, if we look at things like the Chucky doll, all of this sort of stuff is always doing very well when it comes to Supreme. And even later on, it's not even a quick sell. You can hold and move it on going forward. So I do believe that will be an easy investment at £32. Now, the next item, unfortunately, you won't see inside of the UK or the EU because of the knife situation. Because it's got a knife, it's different regulations when it comes to retailers here. However, I believe that this in the US may do okay. Now, I remember, before we continue, this was actually a gift. This is the knife that I got from the US. A massive rest in peace to Burger Kicks. That was actually his gift to me. So that will stay with me forever, and that will stay exactly right near me when I'm on my desk. Anyway, the corkscrew's okay. There's not much branding on it when you have a look. So if I click on there, it's pretty thin in regards to its design. Some people will like the fact that there's not much branding. Some people won't. So, but there isn't much on there. There's just on the silver part, which is basically the bottle opener. But it does have some actual real life application. And what we're starting to see in a lot of Supreme's items is that if it's got real life application, it actually does okay. I honestly don't know whether or not that's a hit, because of the simple fact, look how much it is. Because of the brand, the Forge de Louis or whatever it is, it's a very expensive brand when it comes to this item. So again, if this was maybe $60, $70, even that would be high for it, but it might do all right. But $270? I don't think so. I think we're going to move on. Now we move on to Supreme's Christmas tee. I don't know how to take this. If you remember last year, it was the Mariah Carey tee. This is now just Merry Christmas. Don't spend it all in one place. $10 on the shirt. I mean, I don't know. I'm underwhelmed by it. I really am. It's a clean design, but I mean, I'm really underwhelmed. I'm not too sure. Now, I would 100% potentially go for a multi-cart of that t-shirt, maybe with a couple of other t-shirts that we'll look at in a second. But I don't know how much that'll go for in the resale. Maybe up to £50. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But this would have absolutely banged if this was a year, 2 years ago. I mean, the Supreme going down the arm, it is really nice. It's really clean. They've done it really well in my eyes. Now, I'm not really liking the white, and that's reflective, by the way. So the actual lettering is reflective. But if you think about the black colorway, even this colorway, this sort of wine, which is what I've got, and it's burgundy, but I call it wine. But honestly, that is done really, really well. Like, it is really nice. However, I think we're past that now. I do think that Supreme items, mainly people with, unless it's a box logo, they don't care about having Supreme all over the item anymore, which is a bit strange, but it's just not the way it is anymore. But again, multi-cart, maybe. It's just not gonna, don't expect it to do like massive amounts of resale. We then move on to the other t-shirts of the week. This is probably my second favorite, which they've actually got here, and that's the lady tee. Now, I like the graphic on there, a lot of graffiti. It reminds me of some old style Supreme stuff, in all honesty, like the old photo tees. Pretty cool colorway as well, with a pink, and pretty decent in regards to its resale at 44. If it was me looking at resale this week, I'd 100% go for a Kubrick, maybe a Spend It tee, and a lady pink tee together in the same cart. Not the Kubrick. The Kubrick will go out instantly. That will, in my eyes, or in my prediction, that's the first thing to sell out. The Spend It tee and the lady pink tee, in my opinion, will be a multi-cart. And any other tees that you want to grab on top, either for personal or for resale, go for it as well. But they're the two that people are going to like. The issue that you've got, and this is the problem with that Christmas tee, it's not going to be here for Christmas, for God's sake. Like, we're going for it tomorrow. Christmas is 2 days later. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. So there's another thing putting me off it. There we go. Don't go for that. Go for the lady pink tee if you want to go for any other tee. Bed tee, I'm not really a fan. It's okay. Do you know what it reminds me of? Where the Wild Things Are. Do you remember that story? If any of you guys are my age, I don't know if they brought it out again. I think they brought out another film of it. But if you remember back in the day, it was a cartoon book. And it was Where the Wild Things Were, or Where the Wild Things Are. And that hand and that, I don't know, the way it's coloured reminds me of that. So it is a bit nostalgic, but it's not really something that I'd go for personally. Hats, I mean, it's okay. It goes with kind of if you remember what was the jacket they brought out? What was it called? Damn, can't remember. The denim jacket. People sort of seen it remind them of the Louis Vuitton collab. Kind of goes like that, but caps just don't do too well. This is actually one of my favourite t-shirts of the week. The Supreme Spike tee. I actually really like that. And the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm probably going to go for it. Just as a nice graphic tee to have. And they have one which I believe is white, and it's got like a green and a purple. And actually, do you know what? I might actually go for that for a personal tee, because that's actually quite cool. I do like that. It's a low retail because it isn't a photo tee at 38. So I'm going to change what I said. I'd go for that t-shirt and also go for the lady pink tee. And someone's just asked which items will be the most highly rated. It's got to be the Kubrick at 100%. And that's the only item that I have confidence in this week. What I mean by confidence is that I know no matter who you are or what type of reseller you are, you will be able to find buyers for that. Whereas the other stuff, you're probably going to brick it on StockX if you haven't already got buyers. Let's face it. Christopher Wall. So kind of a collaboration. It's quite nice. It's a nice graphic. It's just a very big graphic. The problem with those graphics on tees when they're that large is it actually creases up quite a lot and it starts to speckle as well. So they don't last that long. That's the problem with those sort of t-shirts. And because of the graphic, it's a higher retail at 46 rather than the 38 or whatever that you usually see. Hooded jacket, the faux Sherlin, too high in regards to its retail. I wouldn't touch it. Diamond tees, just boring. It reminds me of like the chrome tee. Just not nice. I mean, look at it. It's chav. It's not for me. Not for me at all. Another Christopher Wall collab. That one's not nice. And the retail's too high. It's not the 38 retail, unfortunately. This is interesting. They wanted to bring us, for some reason, the True Religion caps. This drop, and not when the True Religion collab came out with the hoodies, etc. But the problem is all this sort of crushed denim or this sort of ripped denim. I mean, is that a thing anymore? Like, you tell me. I'm over 30, so I haven't got a clue. But I'm sitting here wearing a box logo. But is that a thing? I don't know. Like, is that really a thing? Walking around with a hat like that? That's not really for me. 54. It's not the worst of retails that I've seen in regards to a cap on a collab, but that's really not a thing. Experientia tee, it's all right. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, whatever, that'll do. Like, but again, bit of a brick. Unless you've got some shops, and I know a few shops out there that might take some on consignment or something like that. Loose gauge beanies, they're actually quite nice in hand, but unfortunately, I sold someone on the Spikes tee. I thought so. The Spikes tee is nice. Like, look. You know, they bring out Gundam. That kind of reminds me a bit. I mean, it's cool. That is like gothic-y cool. I don't know. I think that is just a cool t-shirt. I'm going for it anyway. Don't go for it so that I can hit. The loose gauge beanie, they're actually really nice. And like the actual, quality of them. But those colours are absolute trash. Don't touch them. If you want someone kissing on the front of your t-shirt, some weird business going on, go for it. But, I mean, as it stands for a graphic, it's actually quite cheap. The issue is, right, look at the graphic. Look where it wraps around. It wraps around the armpit. So you're going to have this graphic kind of coming into here. And unless you go for an oversized look, it's going to all look, it's just not going to look good. It's really not. I don't know why they went over the armpits with that. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's absolute shite, Supreme. Cashmere beanie, no. And then this is the biggest bag fumble that Supreme has bloody done this season. The Supreme Dickies collab could have been one of, if not the best collaboration for Supreme this season. It could have brought them out of the depths of shit. But what did they do? They gave us quilted, popping pants. Like, are you stupid? Who the hell? And not only that, like, but I'm sorry, who the hell's wearing that? Like, who? That one, who, like, unless you're on Sesame Street, there's no need to wear that. Like, yeah, everyone do your own thing, but come on. You're either going to look like the Michelin Man or someone like a marshmallow, or you're going to look like you escaped out of prison. Like, it's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. What I would have loved to have seen, because look, these are double knee sort of painter pants. Can you see? Or carpenter pants, whatever you want to call them. Look, they've even got the hook around there. And they remind me of like the Carhartt sort of thing, which are really in at the minute, especially in the age group that I'm in. If they weren't quilted, that would have been, I would have gone for both the denim and the black, 100%. But carpenter pants, that's what they're called. And that double knee ones, bag fumble. Absolute trash. And at 148, that's not actually a bad retail for a Dickies Supreme collab. That's the normal pants sort of price. But look, tell me what you think in the comments. Like, honestly, do you really I don't know when you're like, you're going to walk out, yeah, and that's going to make you look 10 kilos heavier than what you are. Like you've literally put on a stone just by wearing them. And not only that, but trust me, you're going to pull your leg one day and it pops it out. Like, the hell, like, it's like 90s mixed with, I don't know, trash. So as you can tell, I don't really think the Dickies collaboration is nice. It's pissed me off. I'm going to be honest, it's actually pissed me off because I was waiting for the Dickies collab. Now, it doesn't look too bad actually in the jacket. Not the pink. I mean, the pink is disgusting. If you buy it, if I see checkouts of that in SwiftSole, I'm going to troll you. If you check that out and I see that in the public checkout stream, I tell you what, you've gone down bad. That's actually quite nice. That is quite nice. You know, with a worker type jacket, it will look nice and it will feel good. The padding makes sense because it's outerwear. It's not jeans. It's not pants. That makes sense. Should have left it on the jacket and that was it. And yeah, I'm not convinced. So what are we looking at this week? Well, definitely not the Dickies collab. You've pissed me off with that one. Cheers, James Jevier. But I think it's the Kubrick 100%. 100%. You should go for that. As a risk, I'd go with the Lady Pink tee, the Spikes tee, and as the biggest risk of them all, the Kubrick 1000. If anyone hits that, at me in the SwiftSole Discord. Whether you hit manual or whether you hit with SwiftSole, please let me know if you hit that because you're a don if you went for that. Cool? All right. Any questions, do fire them along down inside of the comments, inside of the chat stream. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go on to SwiftSole itself. So let me get my actual thing bigger. There we go. Give me just 1 second. And I'm going to put SwiftSole on the screen. Any questions you got, obviously put them down below. Look, we always knew that this live wasn't going to be the best, right? Or the most busiest. Because as you know, it's not a hype collaboration, unfortunately. Maybe later. Thank you. All right, you're gonna help me out with this or what? There we go. Nice. All right. Sorry, bit of technical difficulties there. So as I said, you're not going to see any of the items actually inside of SwiftSole yet. The update will be pushed tonight, but there has been some issues in regards to uploading it today. So do apologize for that, but don't worry, they will be up soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that we're going for something of this week, but I'm going to use one of last week's items to put it in the task list. So apologies, but trust me, if someone comes in late and be like, why is he putting TNF? They're not dropping. So new task. So what will happen is when you get to here, you'll then see all of the stuff that drop. Oh, well, there you go. The update's been pushed while we've been here. So don't worry. I don't know why that's frozen. It should unfreeze in just a second. Why are you freezing? Let me unscreen mirror and then screen it again. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if you go into the app now, then you will find that you have got access to the new update. So that will get you going straight away. And everything's going to go wrong today, isn't it? Sorry, guys. Give me 1 sec. How is everyone while we do this? Everything's just... Do you know what it was, right? The Dickies collab is killed everyone. You know that? Everyone's upset by that. Even the developer. He didn't even want to add in any of the stuff. Don't blame him, to be honest. Do not blame him. Alright, are you going to mirror for me? Sorry, guys. 1 second. So yeah, as we were saying, the main collaborations this week is going to be the Kubrick. That's going to be the main one, in all honesty. After that, I don't know. The rest of it is going to be obviously a risk. That's the only thing. It is going to be a risk, and you need to understand that because, of course, I don't want you guys going for something and going, oh, it's bricked, and you told me to go for it. Hey, there we go. Right, just give me a second. I'm just going to make that bigger. There we go. Nice. All right. Apologies for that. We're back. We are back in business. So, when the screen mirroring wants to go again. All right. There we go. So, I've put up the Kubrick 100%. Remember, this is the high retail one, so you may not want to use this. Anyway, quantity 1. When it comes to Supreme, you can only go from one item per profile. And what we mean by a profile is that your name on the actual item that you buy, the address, the card details, email, telephone number, all has to be unique. So if you want to go for more than one of the same item, you need to have more cards. So for instance, you might go with something like Revolut, or you might go with something like Monzo here in the UK. Although some of them have been having some issues with some drops. Revolut, for instance, I know had recent issues, and even Monzo a couple of times. Now, in the US, I do apologize. I'm not clued up in regards to exactly what ones happen, but just ensure that, you try some stuff out. I know privacy generally doesn't work. Can you touch a bit on the checkout delay and what works for you best? In all honesty, when it comes to the checkout delays, I just leave it up to the devs in SwiftSole. I find that leaving it as standard or whatever the developers say, they usually have the best expertise. Even if I'm running another bot alongside of it, which I do, I always go with what the developers say. So I don't actually touch it. Now, if you want to hear what the theory is that a checkout delay should be anywhere between 5 to 10 seconds, because that's how long it will take for someone to fill out the form and click checkout. So that's why it's there. But I'd recommend just leaving delays, which I would have come on to earlier. Anyway, so one item, again, it's one per profile. Now size, leave it as random, and I do color as random as well. The reason why I would do that is because if for some reason Supreme loads that and it isn't black, and let's say SwiftSole thought it said black, then you're not going to pick it up. And the same with the size. I just keep it as random. It's always going to pick up an item then. Now, task mode. You've got two different ones that I would be using here, either drop mode or human mode. Now, drop mode and human mode is basically, so drop is what it says. Now, human is basically to help with anything that they put on as an anti-bot measure. I don't want to go too much into it just in case there's certain people watching the live stream, etc., etc. But if you want to learn more about human mode, go into the SwiftSole Discord, all the details in the description, and you can join and you'll see all of the details there. Now, I recommend running a mixture, some drop, some human. I wouldn't use restock. It's not really as good as the other two. You don't need to use it. Just go with drop, just go with human. Now, task flow. You have both mobile and desktop. This has got the biggest lag, by the way. So luckily, I'm not going through all the items on this today. But the reason why you've got that is because there's technically two different sites to Supreme. There's three really. There's the mobile site and the mobile app, and then there's the desktop site. Now, if we take the Tiffany BOGO, for example, the Tiffany BOGO dropped on the desktop site around 30 seconds after it was meant to drop. And then it dropped on the mobile site about 20 seconds after that. Now, that doesn't sound like a long time, but actually 20 seconds is generally how long it takes some people to check out. So what does that mean? By the time that you can even add to cart on the mobile site, it was out of stock. So this is where diversification comes in. For me, I always run a couple of tasks that are drop mode, a couple of them that are human mode. And then I'll run a couple that are mobile and a couple of that are desktop. And I'll just, mix up all of that. Because ideally, one of those combinations will hit. Ideally. But you have to remember Supreme has done a lot of changes this season. And actually, when you're looking at any bot on the market, like even the big desktop bots, generally speaking, everyone's getting stopped this season. Near enough everyone. Checkouts will come in a bit later on during restocks because Supreme put their ticket system down, and also their checkout flow changes where you don't have to add an item to cart by pressing something and adding something. So bear in mind that no matter what you do, you're never guaranteed a hit. And in all honesty, most people will not hit because they don't have the stock. So this is why we always recommend going manual alongside of it. I'd go manual on desktop and do something on here. That's what I would do. And I always go manual on desktop. And even going manual on desktop, I take a lot of L's because I get to a checkout, I get checkout error or high traffic. It's what you're seeing in the bot. It's the same thing. So when you're like, oh, the bot's not working. No. Supreme's just not letting you buy it. This is what they do. Then what will happen is for the next hour, Supreme will slowly drip feed stock so that you can get restocks. Okay? Simple. I hope that kind of makes sense and that clears up a lot of stuff. Now you've got the PayPal checkout mode. Wouldn't recommend running that. That was an experimental mode that SwiftSole had last season. They do tweaks every now and then, but it just takes up a lot of traffic, etc. So I wouldn't go for that. And then start time, I always go manual, and I would do 1 minute before the drop. Okay, Very simple on that. Then you go to create task. And again, I don't know why this is not picking up today, but it is what it is. Let's just see if it'll pick up properly. Nope. For some reason, it won't. We're having loads of technical difficulties today. This isn't the app. This is actually me. No, unfortunately. So let me unscreen share. And then I'll do it again. If not, don't worry. I can just talk you guys through it anyway. I'll put my phone up to the camera if I need to. I'll be honest. Okay, lovely. Thank you. You're going to work. Or maybe not. Oh, yeah, better. There we go. So this is how you'll see it. And you'll have all your tasks there. Now, I've only put one task in. Now, when you come to doing this, you want to press the plus sign. And what you want to have up is the capture harvester. Now, the reason why is because if you do get any captures, you want them to come inside of this box. And this is especially important for when it comes to human mode. And again, go into the Discord to learn more about that. But all loads of stuff will pop up in there. Now, make sure that you are logged into a Gmail inside of your settings. The reason being is because then your captures ideally will be easier captures, because that Google account that's associated with that, basically Supreme will see that, or there'll be like a little thing or a code that Supreme will get, and that will basically tell them that they can trust you because you're a human, because you do loads of stuff on your Google account, right? You watch this, you check your emails, you do loads of different stuff, so it kind of gives you a higher trust score. Okay, and then when you're ready to go for the drop, keep that capture harvester open, press plus, and all we do is we start tasks 1 minute before the drop, and then we sit, wait, and hope. Pray, cross your fingers, and as I say, just keep on running. Keep on running, keep on running. Now, you can use proxies inside of SwiftSole if you go into the settings. However, local is always best. You're better off being on Wi-Fi than you are on mobile. The reason being is because mobile has a quicker ping time. And then not only that, but I wouldn't touch any of the delays. Okay. Anything else in the settings? I don't think so. Let me have a just quick look. Oh yeah, make sure you set up your Discord webhook as well. I'd always have background mode on, because that means if you come out of SwiftSole, you can still basically run. So come out of it completely, and then you'll keep on getting audio pings to say like a capture's there or whatever it needs, etc. And that's about it. I wouldn't really touch custom delays. I wouldn't. Oh god, this mirroring thing is ridiculous. I wouldn't touch custom delays. I wouldn't touch anything of other settings in the bot that asks. Basically, that gets rid of any of the developer input. I do everything from SwiftSole's end. I'll let SwiftSole deal with all of that personally. That's just what I recommend. All right. Again, put in your Gmail inside of here. Put in your Discord webhook, and it's as simple as that. Okay. So again, not the most hyped of weeks. Make sure that you are running manual alongside your bot, because then you've got more of a chance of hitting. The Kubrick 100% at £32 is probably the one to go for this week. Anything else is more speculation. And so far, I've been pretty accurate on resale predictions in the last year. So technically speaking, there has been a couple of items I never think would go up, but they have. But yeah, listen guys, this is the last, I believe, live of 2021. Definitely before Christmas. But yeah, the last live of 2021, I believe. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for joining me each and every week. I know we have some slight gaps, especially when we were developing like I developed, behave Josh, when the guys or the goats were developing V3. And not only that, but obviously in between studios and stuff like that and all the different time zones. So I just want to thank every single person that's been on these lives each and every week, or for some of the weeks. I hope that I've been of help to you, and I hope to continue them in 2022. And because it is the end of the year, I just do want to give massive blessings to Burger Kicks Ricky and his family, and they're going through a tough time at the moment. Burger Kicks was actually a big part of the botting scene. A fellow YouTuber, who's actually a heart of gold, and unfortunately passed away in a car accident. And again, thank you so much, Ricky. I will always keep that. That'll always stay in my possession and within my collection, no matter what happens to Supreme in the long run and whether I get rid of everything. But listen, guys, if you're running tomorrow, be lucky. I hope you get what you need to get. Go inside of the Discord if you've got any questions. If you want to open up a ticket, please go ahead and do that. We have a very good support team. They are the GOATs, and they will help you each and every week if you have any questions. Don't leave it till drop time. Don't leave it to the last minute. Make sure you get set up tonight into tomorrow, ready for the drop. Listen, have a great Christmas, an amazing new year, And as always, for the last time of 2021,